Day 22. We must be especially careful not to speak Lashon Hara about a Kohen, a parent, a step-parent, or an older brother. Answering the call. The Torah commands us to accord special honor to Kohanim. This is derived from the word V'kidashto, and you shall sanctify him. When someone speaks Lashon Hara about a Kohen, he has shown him disrespect, and therefore transgresses this mitzvah. The Chofetz Chaim suggests that someone who intentionally listens to Lashon Hara or accepts Lashon Hara about a Kohen also transgresses this mitzvah. As a 20-year-old yeshiva student, Rav Schwab visited the Chofetz Chaim in Radin and requested a bracha. Before conferring his bracha, the tzaddik asked Rav Schwab whether he was a Kohen or a Levi. When he replied that he was neither, the Chofetz Chaim described how wonderful it will be to be a Kohen or a Levi when Mashiach arrives and the Beis Mikdash will be rebuilt. Then he said, "Perhaps you have heard, I am a Kohen. Tell me, why aren't you a Kohen?" Rav Schwab was puzzled by the question. "Because my father is not a Kohen," he replied. "And why isn't your father a Kohen?" Chofetz Chaim asked further. Rav Schwab decided not to answer. Obviously, the Chofetz Chaim was trying to make a point. "I'll tell you why," he went on. "Because 3,000 years ago, at the episode of the Golden Calf, your ancestors didn't come running when Moshe Rabbeinu called out, 'Mi la Hashem Eli,' who is for Hashem, join me. My grandfather and all the other members of the tribe of Levi did run to Moshe." Now, take this lesson to your heart. In every person's life, there is a moment when a call goes forth to him. Mi la Hashem Eli. When you hear that call, make sure that you come running. In these difficult times, one can almost hear a heavenly voice calling to each and every one of us, Mi la Hashem Eli. Those who study and live by the laws of Shmiras Lashon have answered the call of Mi la Hashem Eli and are playing a major role in hastening the coming of Mashiach. One of the 10 commandments is the mitzvah of honoring our parents. Kabir es avicha v'esimecha, honor your father and mother. If someone would, God forbid, speak Lashon Hara about his parents, he would transgress this mitzvah, or makla avi ve'imo. Cursed is someone who degrades his father and mother, would also apply to him. From the words imecha, es avicha, ve'es imecha, we learn that one is required to honor his stepmother and stepfather. From the letter Vav of V'es, we learn that it is also mitzvah to honor an older brother. One who speaks Lashon Hara about a stepfather, a stepmother, or an older brother has transgressed this relevant mitzvah. We must be especially careful not to speak Lashon Hara about a Kohen, a parent, a step-parent, or an older brother. Day 23. When one speaks Lashon Hara, he wastes time that could have been used for Torah study, and he shows a lack of fear of Hashem. Simple arithmetic. The study of Torah is the greatest mitzvah of all. A Jew is commanded to study whenever possible. This is why, says Tosfos, we recite Birkas Torah only once a day, as opposed to the blessing when eating in a sukkah, which we recite each time we leave the sukkah and return later to eat again. A Jew never really finishes learning, because as soon as he is free to learn, he has a mitzvah to open a sefer and resume learning. Of course, this does not mean that we cannot live a normal life. A person needs to eat, sleep, provide for his family, and yes, he also needs to unwind, to relax, to exercise, to recharge his batteries, as long as the activity leads to a goal of allowing him to study Torah and serve Hashem with a healthy body and clear mind. They are in the category of a mitzvah. They are certainly not considered Bittul Torah. However, when a person speaks Lashon Hara, then aside from the sin of negative speech, the person has also wasted precious time that could have been used for Torah study. The Vilna Gaon taught that every word of Torah is a mitzvah in itself. In a couple of minutes, a person can accumulate hundreds of mitzvos of Torah learning. By contrast, when a person speaks Lashon Hara, each negative comment is a sin in itself. In Pirkei Avos, we are taught that when a person leaves this world, he must stand before Hashem for a din v'cheshbon, judgment and accounting. The Vilna Gaon explains that din, judgment, is a reckoning for the sin itself, while cheshbon, accounting, is the reckoning for the good that could have been done, that could have been accomplished during the time that the sin was committed. The cheshbon for which a Baal Lashon Hara will be held accountable is frightening, as the Chofetz Chaim has demonstrated. The harm that one brings to himself by speaking or listening to Lashon Hara is awesome. A wise, God-fearing person should want to stay far away from any group or situation that might lead to such talk. The Gemara relates that on his deathbed, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai told his Talmidim, "May it be the will of Hashem that the fear of heaven be upon you like the fear of flesh and blood." That's all his Talmidim responded. Can it be that we are to fear Hashem only as much as we fear people? Rabbi Yochanan responded, "If only you would fear Hashem that much, for isn't it true that when a person is about to sin, he says to himself, 'I hope no one sees me'? Someone who is careless with his words, ignoring the fact that the Torah explicitly forbids us to speak Lashon Hara, has transgressed the mitzvah, as Hashem Elokecha Tira, you shall fear Hashem your God." As the Vilna Gaon wrote in his famous letter to his family, "For everything one will stand in judgment. For every word, not one casual remark will be lost. Why should it be necessary for me to write at length about the most severe of sins? Heavenly angels accompany a person wherever he goes, and not a single word is lost and not recorded." Again, in a nutshell, when one speaks Lashon Hara, he wastes time that could have been used for learning Torah, and he shows a lack of fear of Hashem. Have a wonderful day.